boxing fans here in Riyadh. Adam Smith, we just seen Anthony Joshua just do a demolition job on Francis Ngannou. Just talk to me about that.
It was a crushing, superb, devastating knockout win for AJ, and a fantastic performance, one of his best. And even though Francis is a two-fight novice, after what he did against Tyson Fury here, knocking Fury down and in most people's opinion winning the fight, you know, Joshua was up against it tonight. He was sort of nothing to gain, everything to lose, and look what he did, right? He's been brilliant under Ben Davison. He was fantastic against Otto Wallin. He didn't really get the credit for that. Everybody said Otto Wallin's a B-level fighter. He didn't turn up. No, Otto Wallin's a good fighter. And Francis Ngannou, everyone talks about the power that he had. No one was talking about AJ's power. And he got in a boxing ring. Brave guy Ngannou, but you know, levels apart, worlds apart, different sport. And I thought Joshua was absolutely brilliant. I thought that right hand almost finished proceedings there and then. He did well to get up. I thought Ngannou wasn't really recovered. He went back to his corner. They had to get a stool out. I think that he was going to stand between rounds and they had to get the stool for him. Then he comes out for the second round. He's floored again heavily. In my opinion, the referee should have stopped it there and then. He took that unnecessary third punch. Thankfully he was okay, but as far as Anthony Joshua goes, he had a really serious look on his face when he was in the ring before the first bell, and it was a serious statement and a serious performance. And whatever people say about who he was beating, he can only beat what's in front of him, and it was absolutely clinical.
I want to ask you this, Anthony Joshua, that we see right now, he seems to be in a better place. We've seen that that's evident from the last two performances with the team around him and Ben Davison. How much does this change things now in the heavyweight landscape? A lot of people at Tyson Fury are favourite only a couple of fights ago. So listen, Tyson...
A couple of hours ago.
Yeah, possibly. But things have changed. Tyson Fury's performance against Ngannou was a pretty. We see what Anthony Joshua's done. Even the Usyk rematch, does that change a little bit with this type of Anthony Joshua? Where does Anthony Joshua sit now? That's my question.
Well, the heavyweight division is just the blue ribbon, the fascinating one that can just turn on a punch, and that's what happens. You know, when Oliver McCall knocked out Lennox Lewis, and Hasim Rahman did it again, and now Lennox Lewis, in my opinion, the greatest heavyweight that we've produced. And you know, these things can happen. Mike Tyson losing to Buster Douglas, you know, Joshua losing to Ruiz in the Garden. You know, this is why we're compelled by this sport, why we keep watching. And I don't think anyone could have predicted, or very few, a two-round demolition job like that. People were thinking he'll just play it safe and maybe get a points win, or soften him up and stop him late, or get knocked out himself. But you know, I don't think many were thinking as quick a performance as that. But yeah, getting back to your point about AJ being in a better place afterwards, that the respect he had and having pictures with everyone, it reminds me of what he was like. I think he's really happy again. I think he's learning. He's like a sponge. He wants to get better, and he's with the perfect guy in Ben Davison, who I think is an excellent trainer. He's learned a lot from Rob McCracken and Joby and Angel and others along the way. But I think Ben's right for AJ, certainly at this time of his career. He trained Tyson Fury. Is that going to be a real thorn in the side of the Fury camp? We don't know. Look, Fury Usyk, we can't wait for that. Then we're going to see, we've got Hrgovic, we've got Dubois, we've got Deontay's going to come back, Dillian White. There's loads going to happen. But yeah, the heavyweight division does change again slightly now, because I think people will think AJ can beat Fury, but Fury's got to beat Usyk. It's a whole merry-go-round, and we're loving it.
Adam, quick one before I let you go. Joseph Parker, in a difficult fight against Zhang, Zhang knocked him down twice, didn't do much pretty around in them rounds as well. But what did you make of Parker's performance against Zhang?
Yeah, it was a strange fight, wasn't it? As was the Nick Ball's one, you know. The knockdowns, and you thought Zhang, 2 knockdowns, he can't lose this fight, but then he just didn't do anything, and Joseph Parker was much better. And I thought if it was a 15-round fight, Parker would have won really easily, but I gave it to Parker. It was mixed on the desk here. I thought Parker won it. I thought he boxed really intelligently for the last 4 or 5 rounds. I think he got off to a really slow start, but that conditioning got him through the knockdowns. Zhang just went to sleep or got tired. But Joseph Parker, what a great story. It's just you know, if AJ's an inspiration, you know, to a generation, so should Joseph Parker be. The way he's come back, he's committed himself, he's got a great team, he's learned, he's keeping busy, he's happy, probably the nicest guy in boxing as well. I mean, it's just fantastic for Joe Parker. But yeah, it's a great night for the heavyweights, and we move on for this. But you know what? I've got a flight to catch, because I've got to be in Coventry for the GBM show tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Adam. I appreciate your time. Thank you.